Ryan Coogler loves directing, and Ryan Coogler loves Black people. What he chooses to do in all of his movies, regardless of the genre, is he tells stories about Black people defining their identity for themselves. Crazy Stupid Podcast.
Thank you so much for tuning in. If this is your first time watching, we'd love it if you could hit the like button, the subscribe button, and the bell so that you are aware of when we post things.
Hi, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Crazy Stupid Podcast. My name is Esther.
And I'm Adrian.
And today we are here to give you our first impression after seeing Sinners, directed by Ryan Coogler.
Yes. Starring Michael B. Jordan and Michael B. Jordan. So this will be a non-spoiler review. So you can watch this film and not get anything spoiled. We're just trying to give our first impressions about how we felt and what we liked about this movie, essentially. I mean, I don't know I don't even know what to say. That movie was a banger. I'm sorry. Holy smokes, bro. First and foremost, I guess just shout out to Ryan Coogler, because every movie that he has produced so far, whether it's any of the Black Panthers, Creed, now with Sinners, you can see that he truly loves the craft of filmmaking. The attention to detail, the acting, the cinematography, the music in every single movie that he makes is always something that is memorable. And that I always learned to appreciate. He was doing this marketing thing for the movie where he was showing, you know, the different ways that the film was shot. Not only was that like a clear marketing, like genius decision, because there are a lot of people that I remember seeing online saying like, oh, I didn't even know this movie was coming out, but I saw this and that made me want to go see it. It also gives you insight as to how he's taking this thing very seriously. I just feel like we need to start putting him in that upper echelon category of some of the directors that we hold in high regard. Even the ones that didn't win Oscars like he hasn't, but that didn't stop us from putting these other directors in that category. And I think he deserves to be put in that because, man.
I just feel an immense amount of gratitude. Ryan Coogler loves directing, and Ryan Coogler loves Black people. He loves Black people so much, and he makes that so clear in all of the projects that he makes. This one really hit for me, man, because the portrayal of Black American heritage is so intentional and immediately recognizable, especially if you are Black American. If you from the South right now, you're gonna be like, yeah. For me, I saw, you know, my grandfather and his siblings grew up in Alabama, so I saw a lot of them in this movie, and it was deeply, deeply, deeply appreciated. I remember we were talking the other day when we brought up Ryan Coogler at the end of that other episode, and we were talking about the variety in his films. Like, you know, he's done like sports and he's done superheroes and he did Fruitvale Station, and now we're getting horror. Yeah. And I think I kind of jokingly said, like, the only thing these movies have in common is Michael B. Jordan. Like, for real. Like, there's such a wide array of genre and theme in his movies. And I still think that is true. Something that I was really reflecting on, though, coming out of this movie and then on the way home and thinking about all of his movies, is what he chooses to do in all of his movies, regardless of the genre, is he tells stories about Black people defining their identity for themselves. I really think it goes all the way back to Fruitvale Station. I was really thinking about this on the way home. A lot of people don't think about Fruitvale Station. A lot of people were put onto Ryan Coogler when he did Black Panther. Yeah. But Fruitvale Station was Creed, I would say, or Creed. Yeah. But Fruitvale Station was like his big debut film, at least for me. Something about that movie that I thought about coming out of this the theater today is that, like, there are so many films about police brutality, like, especially since, you know, Trayvon Martin and Michael Brown, because it's been such a big topic just culturally. You know, we have Hate You Give, and there's like lots of other films, but so many of those films are about the aftermath of the tragedy and about people trying to make sense of it and people seeking justice. And I think that's 100% valid, and it should be made. And I understand, because it's a reflection of the reality that we all live in, right? Like, we live in the aftermath of these tragic deaths. Yeah. But what sets Fruitvale Station apart is that that's a movie about Oscar Grant's life. That's a movie about his last day and the person that he was and the way that he is remembered, it culminates in what happened to him. But the film is not about that. It's about him as a person. And it just made me think that about the way that Ryan Coogler is just very intentional about, and all the stories that he tells. He tells stories where the Black people choose who they are for themselves and represent themselves. Yeah. And I think that like that started with Fruitvale Station. He's just continued that so much. And I think that there was a lot of that in Sinners, both like on an individual level, but also just on like a cultural level for Black American people in this country in general. Yeah. I'm just immensely grateful. I'm just filled with gratitude.
Yeah. Michael B. Jordan showed some range in this movie. This is one of those instances where I think we may have talked about this off camera of like Coogler knows how to bring the best out of Michael B. Jordan. Yeah. In a way that other directors and showrunners just quite can't. They just can't meet that level. And there's other directors that do that. You can make the case with like Scorsese and Leonardo DiCaprio. That's one, for example. Or Peele and Daniel Kaluuya, right? Mm-hmm. Just hearing the stories about what Michael B. Jordan had to do to just get into character and to stay into character, and the conversations that he was having with Coogler about like the world building, you could see the payoff in a lot of instances. That's the first thing. The second thing, I know Michael B. Jordan is, obviously like the star in the movie. Miles Caton, that's going to be another. That's a star right there, because he stole this film.
It was amazing.
So good. And the last thing that I probably wanted to say, I heard a few people, I think it might have been Fantastic Frankie, that was like, it kind of feels like a musical. And I understand why they are saying that. Mm-hmm. But that is not a criticism. I'm telling you, as someone, I do not like musicals. But oh my God, the music in this film is immaculate. You are going to be, I don't know how he does it. I don't want to go into spoilers about what they do with the music, because I want you all to be shocked when you experience it for the first time. But what Ryan Coogler and Ludwig Göransson do with the music, transcendental. And if you don't know who Ludwig Göransson is, this is a person who did Creed movies. He did Black Panther. He did Tenet. He did Oppenheimer. He's been in a bunch of other things. Like he helped out with Childish Gambino's album. Oh, he did Mandalorian theme as well. Mm-hmm. And Boba Fett. But the man is already a 2-time Oscar winner. So this, we want to talk about like, he's kind of young. Yes, in his 30s. You want to talk about Coogler being in this upper echelon? We got to start putting Ludwig in that conversation as well, because every sound that you have from him in new movies always sounds completely different, completely new, completely refreshing. You can tell that he did very intentional research on what kind of sounds can I pull from that are culturally relevant to the themes in the movie itself. I don't want to say too much on it, but the payoff for what he did matters a lot in making this movie such an experience.
I can't think of like another example of like people that we know are, if not already considered like one of the greats, will be. And like we're getting to see it at the start. Yeah. And I can't think of anybody else, like a lot of these other people, at least not like as an adult. Hans Zimmer has always been, a name, like a person. I remember when we went to see him in concert, and it was like, oh, the Lion King, and
he did everything.
Pirates of the Caribbean, right? Everything. Like he's always been like a staple, right? Yeah. And some of these like big directors, like Spielberg and Scorsese and these people, like they've just always been, but getting to see like the beginning of these careers and knowing how much more we're going to get from them is just so exciting.
Yeah. All the actors were incredible. Delroy Lindo, I'm going to always just give my shout to him. Mm-hmm. Everyone is incredible.
Delightful. There was a lot of black ass humor in that movie.
Yeah.
Still delightful.
Very good. So we'll probably do like a full review, maybe like the next couple of days, but we didn't want to go like full on into it. I know there's a lot of people in our comment section when I posted earlier today that like we hadn't seen it yet. I'm telling y'all, go see this movie. You're going to have a good time, and please support it in the theaters. We'd love to hear what you guys think. For those of you that have seen the movie, please let us know in the comment section below things that you liked, things that you noticed. Try to keep it spoiler free. For those of you that haven't seen it, this is, again, your final plea. Please go and see this movie.
Yes.
Yes. And with that, we will see you all next time. Take care, everyone. Peace.